Hello dear students, welcome you once again in this online lecture series of business communication using computers. Today we are going to see third unit, presentation skills. This third unit, presentation skills, contains three subtopics. The first one is that presentation skills, tips for effective presentation. Second subtopic is that guidelines for developing PowerPoint presentation, and the third subtopic is that presenting technical papers. So let's start with the first subtopic. The first subtopic, as I told you, is presentation skills, tips for effective presentation. This subtopic has near about 20 points I have included in that, and these 20 points are divided into 5 topics. So let's see first 5 topics. The first one is that be honest. You have to be honest to your work, to your presentations. Second point is that move around. Whatever the place is allocated to you, you have to utilize it so you can observe your audience. Third point is that keep it simple. Whatever the presentation you are preparing, making, you have to make it in a simple form, in simple style, and in a simple language. Fourth point is that be conversational. Whenever you are presenting something, your presentation should not be a one way, because presentation is nothing than communication, and whenever there is a matter of communication, it should be a two-way. Fifth point is that share stories if required. Sometimes it feels that you have to tell some example, you have to tell some story, so that better understanding can be done by the audience. Then sixth point is that consult an expert. Whenever you are preparing your presentation, before that you have to take advices from an expert person. Seventh point is that keep an open mind. It is always better for you to keep open mind, so that if there are some suggestions from the experts, you can adopt it and you have to change your presentation according to that. Eighth point is that never stop learning. Yes, it is very essential that whenever you are related to any particular field, you should have the updated knowledge of that particular field so that latest information can be included in your presentation. Then ninth point is that use of audio visual aids. Yes, for better effectiveness of your presentation, it is essential for you to use audio as well as visual aids. 10th point is that stay with happy and positive people. Yes, whenever you are staying with happy and positive peoples, that happiness and positivity can create good enthusiasm in yourself and that reflects in your presentation. Now 11th point is that use of PPT. Yes, for the effectiveness of your presentation, you have to tell something, you have to show something, and whenever it is the matter of showing, it is better option in front of you to use PowerPoint presentation, that is PPT. 12th point is that use simple language. For better understanding of each and every audience, you should explain it in a simple language. Show your passion. Passion is very essential. Your involvement should be required in your presentation so that it can be perfectly presented. 14th point is that give examples for better understanding. Sometimes what happens, whenever you are saying something, whenever you are giving some kind of information, it may not be understood by your audience, And for better understanding, sometimes it is required that you have to give more examples. 15th point is that relax, breathe, and enjoy. First, very important point is that you have to be a relax. You should be a comfortable. Even if you have some kind of a tension, it is better option that you have to take a long breath so you feel confident about that. And when it is a part of your profession, you have to enjoy it. Now, the 16th point is that use of body language. Now look at this picture. This lady has given some kind of a presentation. When she is giving some kind of a presentation, we can see her body languages, how she is using gestures, postures, facial expressions, etc. 17th point is that eye contact with your audience. Whenever you are saying something, whenever you are presenting your company, institute, organization, and when there is an audience in front of you, when there are receivers in front of you, you should have better eye contact with them so that your audience feel that yes, this person is talking with them. Then next point is that use your voice effectively. Yes, whenever you are presenting something, it should be a properly understood by the receivers, and for that it is required your voice should be used properly and effectively. 19th point is that think about audience need. You should always consider that what your audience needed, what is the requirement of audience, and according to that you have to provide your presentation, you have to give your information in front of that audience. 20th and the last point is that tell them jokes to make them relax. Yes, sometimes it may be possible that your audience get bored, and you have to bring them into the mainstream of your conversation, and for that it is sometimes required that you have to tell them some jokes so they feel comfort, they will be relaxed. In this way we have understood the first point. Now let's see the second point. Second point is deals with guidelines for developing PowerPoint presentation. As we have discussed right now, that presenting yourself is more important, and for presentation what is required? It is required PPT, that is PowerPoint presentation. So let's see some points related to preparing of PowerPoint presentation. The first point is that be confident. Yes, where it is very essential that you should have enough confidence. Second point is that plan carefully. Whenever you are preparing for presentation, there should be a perfect plan. Third point is that know your audience. You have to think about your audience, that what kind of audience will be in front of you, whether they are small children, whether they are young, whether they are matured employees, and according to that you have to prepare your presentation. Fourth point is that time your presentation. Yes, it is very very important that your presentation should be not so long so that audience will get bored. So think about your presentation should be a short and sweet. Fifth point is that limit the number of slides. If you are preparing your presentation with 50 slides, 60 slides, then certainly your audience will get bored. So that there should be a limitation of the slides, and according to that you have to prepare your presentation. Then sixth point is that request for honest feedback. Whenever you are presenting something, it is required for you that you have to ask feedback. When your audience will give you proper feedback, you can understand it that whatever you have presented, it is perfectly understood by your audience. Seventh point is that use of contrasting colors of text. Yes, when you are preparing presentation, when there are some slides in that presentation, you should not use single color. Of course, it is not required that every line should be in a different color. That will be a very bold, but multicolor should be used. You can see that in this example. I have given yellow color for headings and white color for the points. It may be required that you can follow the same method. 8 point is that use capital letters for headings and titles. Sometimes it is required that you have to highlight something, and how you can highlight, you can use capital letters so that automatically it will be highlighted. 9 point is that speak comfortably and clearly. Yes, you have to be a comfortable and speak very clearly so that it can be understood by your audience. 10 point is that check the spellings and grammars. There should not be a grammatical mistakes in your presentation, otherwise your audience will be a concentrate on that particular point and he will go away from your main point. Then next point is that avoid abbreviations or short forms. Yes, because it is not expected that every time every audience is known these abbreviations or short forms, so you should avoid that kind of method. 12th point is that use images, charts, graphs, GFI. Now look at this. I have been using this GFI. Now this lady has been given some kind of information, and with the help of graphs she has been explaining it. So in this way this method can be adopted for better presentation and its effectiveness. Then 13 point is that don't read, speak about your slides. It is always better. If you are reading, audience may feel that okay, we can read it out. Why you are reading? Then it is required for you that you have to speak about your slides, you have to explain your slides for better understanding. 14th point is that use Arial or Helvetica font as it's readable. Now look at this slide. I have been using this Arial font so it can be easily read by the audience. 15th point is that do not turn your back on the audience. It is always remember, it is a essential part of body languages that you should, if you are looking at your presentations slides and you are turning your back to your audience, it creates very bad impression. I mean your audience. 16th point is that use we rather than I and you. Now look at this. I have highlighted with a green color we, and I have highlighted I and you with a red color. So it means that we create some good relations between presentation, the person who is presenting something, and the audience. That's why it is called we rather than if you are using I and you. There will be a disturbance between the person who is presenting and the audience, and they will not feel involvement with you. 17th point is that use points than sentences or paragraphs. Yes, it is always better because you are using slides and you have to write only points rather than sentences, long sentences and long paragraph. If you are using sentences and paragraphs, it cannot be a readable, so use only points. 18th point is that use pointer to indicate important points. Every time it is not required for you to go near that white sheet or the paper where you are presenting yourself. Rather than from your place, you can highlight with the help of pointer. 19 point is that make your presentation attractive and not bold. Yes, very important. That audience should get attracted towards your presentation and it should not be in a bold form. And the last point is that use the technical as main tool of presentation. Yes, it is very essential that when the technology is available with you, you should utilize it in a proper way. So we have seen in this way 2 points. Now let's see the third point, and it is about technical papers. Now look at these points. Paper title, that how you have to give title, what should be the abstract, what should be the introduction. If you are giving some related words to that, then what should be the main theme, what should be the main part or the main body of that your paper. Then how you are giving your experiments or whatever the examples. Then there should be a conclusion at the end, that what you exactly want to say through this presentation. Then further work, if you have any kind of plan to work more related to that, then you have to mention it also. Then acknowledgement giving, it is essential. And the last point is that citation, it is also important point. Then 11th point is that appendix, it is also required. Mechanics is also essential, that what kind of mechanism you have adopted to present your paper. Then its version, about its distribution, and it should be a grammatically correct. And the last point is that small scale presentation issues also are very important. Now let's see one example of IEEE, that how you have to prepare your presentation. And this is the example of technical paper as per the norms of IEEE. Now I have highlighted that it is the title, and we can see that the title is wireless personal areas network connection, in this way. So what is the abstract? It should be also mentioned at the initial stage. It, of course, it should be in a very brief. Then you have to start with your introduction, and then the main part of that is the body, that what exactly you want to say through this paragraph or these papers. That is, of course, it is the main part of that your paper, so it should be in a descriptive form, as it has been given here about 4 pages. Of course, some examples, some charts, some graphs also can be used for better understanding. And the last point is that conclusion and references. As I told you, you have to conclude your opinions, you have to conclude it, that what exactly you have to say in this paper, and what kind of references you have used for writing this paper. It should be also noted at the end, and that is called the references. So in this way we have seen presentation skills. So this is for this online lecture. I hope you have understood it perfectly, and you have prepared yourself to give perfect PowerPoint presentation, and even you are ready to how to make or how to prepare IEEE technical paper. So we will stop here, and thank you very much.